Hey guys, my name is Kyle. I'm happy to be here with you today. I used to do these in my car because it was a nice, quiet, very convenient place for me to go. It was alone, so I could record these teaching videos. But now I'm doing it just to annoy Kirsten. So Kirsten, this one's for you. Today I want to talk about temptation. Temptation is when there's something that you want to do that you know is wrong or that you know that you shouldn't do it. But before I go any further, I want to say that being tempted by itself is not a sin. So many people think that just because they're tempted to do things that they don't want to do or that they know they shouldn't do, that they're a bad person or that they think that they're in trouble or that God thinks less of them because they're being tempted. That is so not true. Jesus himself in the Bible was tempted. Jesus was tempted. So for us, it's absolutely a normal thing to want to do things that you know you shouldn't do. We can be tempted by all sorts of things, and some are easier to avoid than others. There's small things like eating zebra cakes that I probably shouldn't have more than once a day. But there's also some things that are more serious, like maybe it's some things that you see online that you know that you shouldn't be seeing, or music or TV shows that you're listening to that you know is not appropriate, or cheating on schoolwork that is really, really easy to do because you know that no one would catch you. The list could go on and on. There's so many different types of things that tempt us. So what do we do about it? Sometimes you hear people say things like, "You must not give in to temptation." But that's easier said than done. So in the book of Genesis, there's this guy named Joseph, and he was sold into slavery by his brothers, and he ended up in Egypt. Now, when he was in Egypt, he became the personal assistant of the captain of the guard, of this guy whose name was Potiphar. Now, Potiphar had left all of his household, his whole estate, in charge of Joseph because Joseph was doing such a good job of being his servant that Potiphar wanted him to have all the authority in his household. Now, Potiphar had a wife. Potiphar's wife saw Joseph day after day and started to have some feelings for him. Now, these weren't fun, like, hey, let's be friends feelings. They were the kind that made her go up to him, grab him by the coat, and say, "Get into bed with me." Ladies, that's not how you get the guy. Gentlemen, that's not how you get the girl. Instead of hopping into bed with her and doing something he knew was wrong, Joseph straight up ran out of the house. The dude just booked it. And there's a lesson there that when we're faced with temptation, things that we know that we shouldn't do, we should just run, because that's a fight that we will almost always lose. When we try to fight temptation, more often than not, we lose that fight. And so the best thing we can do is run. Running from temptation can look a lot of different ways. Maybe that's closing the browser tabs that are around your schoolwork so that you're not tempted to look up your answers. Maybe it's turning on filters on your browser so that things don't slip through the cracks. It could be leaving the room instead of blowing up on a family member when they really, really get on your nerves. Or maybe it's finding music and TV shows that you like that aren't crude or inappropriate. Another great way to handle temptation is to pray to God and ask for strength to be able to run from it instead of giving into it. Lastly, dealing with temptation is so much easier when you're doing it with someone you trust. Don't hesitate to reach out. We would love to hear from you guys to help you deal with temptation or anything else. Until next time, guys, can't wait to see you. You should definitely contact us and ask for the Zoom links because we would love to see you guys. Every Wednesday, we do Zoom sessions at 3 o'clock for our teens and 2 o'clock for our kids club. We would love to see you. Have a good one.